Microsoft Teams rooms have become a fundamental conversation within our new working environment. However, getting the right hardware for the right spaces has become tricky. We're down here at Innovation House to show you different hardware and different room types to hopefully help you get a better idea on what kit can enhance your spaces. I'm Louis Robinson, this is Midwich TV. Let's go take a look inside. Here we are then in the heart and soul of Innovation House that is our Experience Centre. Before we take a look around though, I do want to break down how we've laid out the facility so you get an understanding of what we're trying to showcase and why. We've broken down sections into effectively different environments, and this is to help end users and visitors understand how kit can be utilised in different environments. What I do like to say to people though, when we get to these environments, don't just think that technology is for that one space. It can be broken out. It's just kind of like a foundation and a guide to understand where some kit can be utilised. Behind me, the first place we always take people is the education space. We've got interactive screens here that you would typically find in education, as well as interactive screens that you would see in like a corporate training facility. And this is a perfect environment for Microsoft Teams rooms. With an interactive display and an all-in-one Android bar like we've got here, you can make for a real nice training facility that's super simple to use. Now, we've utilised a 180-degree camera here, so I can be in the room and have a nice view, as well as really close to the interactive board, let's say using the Microsoft Teams whiteboard, and that camera is still going to capture me. Like I said, this is an Android all-in-one bar, so we are controlling this using its touch panel that is next to it. But this could be placed anywhere else you would like in the room. After training though, we all know that we need a break, which is a perfect segue to take a walk on over to our breakout space. Now, this corner of Innovation House has been dedicated to our canteen coffee zone breakout area, let's say. We always come here when we have tours because it's a good way just to relax after the journey here, grab a coffee, grab a cup of tea, and just have a bit of a chinwag. And that's how most offices work as well. Most offices have a space for employees to park themselves down when they need a break or when they need that nice uplifting coffee to kick off the day. These spaces typically don't get the love and attention that most other spaces get when it comes to video conferencing. But Microsoft Teams Rooms has made these spaces come forward into the future to not only help boost morale with employees, but also, if you're anything like me, help the creative juices keep flowing. Now, if you go for a coffee in the middle of your day and you come up with a great idea, instead of running off to grab your laptop and make a call, installing something like this all-in-one device means you can quickly dial one of your colleagues, jump into a meeting and start discussing that great new idea. Now, I'm forever doing it. I'll get a good idea, I'll forget about it on the way to my laptop, or I'll just lose that buzz by the time I've got there. Like I said, having a device like this means you can jump into that call and you can get active straight away. The other side of that, let's say I've walked into the office and I'm the only person in that day. I could either dial into another site so I can talk to people who are also on a coffee break over there, or just dial in one of my other colleagues. They might be at home, they might want a coffee break too. If I give them a call from here, we can have a chat over a coffee, we can downtime from work so we can recharge and get ourselves ready for our next meeting. Here we've got everything from your large format all-in-ones down to your single devices for the more personal use. Coffee break over though, it's time to get back to work, so let's head on over to one of our meeting rooms and I can show you what we're showcasing in a more meeting room environment. Here we are then at our first unified communications stop on the tour of Innovation House. This room is what we call Discovery, and the first thing I say to everyone who comes in this room is do not be alarmed by the amount of displays that we have on the wall, because we won't be telling you to install all of these into your environment, unless you need them, that is. The idea of us having so many displays is so we can showcase loads of different ways to utilize video conferencing. So in here we've got Microsoft Teams running on Android, running on Windows, running on all-in-one devices, running on single screens, double screens, and also we've got it working with a standard dry whiteboard here where we can pull in different content into a Microsoft Teams call completely digitally, so you don't have to worry about getting some dodgy camera perspective of a shiny dry whiteboard. Up in the ceiling, we've done a install that is a little bit against the grain. It's not a perfect case scenario. And the reason for that in this space is because we get a lot of end users who come in and say they want to upgrade their spaces, but they don't have the budget to move infrastructure like air conditioning units. So up there, we've got a microphone that is very close to an aircon unit. Here we can bring people in and we can showcase to them what they're likely to achieve in their troublesome environment. Yes, we can make it perfect, but it's great to have a space where we have it less than ideal so end users get that real life scenario. As you can see around the room, we've got different control units. We've got the Android ones on the tables. We've got some control units on credenzas as well. We're just doing that so we can showcase to people the different installation methods and the different platforms and how cable types are needed to make sure those touch controllers can be plugged into the device they are driving. Now, to help people understand all of this a bit better, just across the way, we've got a boardroom mock-up. It's got a couple of different scenarios, but it's far more slimmed down than this room. So it gives people a good idea of what they're going to get when they start installing kit into their site. So let's take a wander over there and we can take a look at our boardroom mock-up space. As you can see, we've wandered on over to our mock-up boardroom environment. Over here, we've got two types of MTRs. We've got an Android all-in-one bar, utilizing its touch controller at the table. We've also got a Windows Microsoft Teams room as well. With the Windows device, we've got a switcher unit that end users can come in and see how switching between cameras can be done manually. Yes, there are AI features that can do it automatically, but some end users just like to do it themselves. So here we can showcase to them, just at the push of a button, how to switch between different angles. You can also see here we've got different screen layouts. We've got an interactive board here and an LED wall there. A lot of end users now are asking us how to utilize their real estate more, and an LED wall is a great way of doing that. Microsoft Teams rooms do not matter where you're going to deploy them from a screen perspective, so this is a great way of seeing it in a very high quality environment. Something I'm really excited to show you though is just over here, and it is our stage area. Now, up until recently, this stage was only used for in-person events. We've now installed a Microsoft Teams Rooms device with multiple cameras and multiple microphone types, so we can use this in a hybrid environment. When we do our sales kickoffs, our exhibitions, we always have presentations. But like I said, up until recently, you had to come in the room and be part of that day. Now we can dial you into a call and you can get the full experience that anyone in the room will have themselves. Behind me, we've got a 4.8 meter long LED wall where we can showcase Teams running in a 16:9 layout with either our logo or our partners' logos on the side, as well as running this in a 21:9 layout so we can showcase front row. Talking about front row is a good place to segue into Concept, which is another one of our rooms, which we've designed around the signature room layout. Let's head on over there and I'll talk to you a little bit more about signature rooms and how we're using them. The last stop on our Microsoft Teams Rooms tour has to be this room right here. And we call this room Concept. When building this room, we took inspiration from Microsoft's signature room designs. Now, those signature room designs showcase furniture and hardware for you to utilize in your spaces to make sure you are making the most of those spaces and you're pairing together the right kit. Here we've got an arced table, we've got a 180-degree field of view camera, and we've got a 105-inch 21:9 interactive board. Here we can showcase front row and that Microsoft Teams whiteboard. Over here, we've got an all-in-one device that's your camera, microphone, speakers, and interactive screen. And down this end, we've got an all-in-one Android bar with its control system at the table. Smack bang in the center of the room, we have a 360-degree field of view camera. Now, AI is a massive part of our meeting rooms nowadays, and utilizing cameras like this means you can capture the right person in the space when they're talking, or everyone in the space at the correct angle. With one camera and one focal point, sometimes you're getting a really strange angle. 360-degree cameras and Teams Rooms AI make sure you're always looking directly down the camera so the far end get that really nice experience and feel like part of the meeting. As you can see on the table, we've got a few controllers. We've got a Windows control device, we've got an Android control device, and we've got our ceiling audio control device as well. Now, these controllers don't always need to be separated. We can utilize these control systems in Windows. We've broken them out though, just to make it a little bit easier for people to understand. Over here as well, we've got an all-in-one Android device on a trolley that can be easily wheeled around. One cable to power it, connect it to the Wi-Fi, and you are up and running with your Microsoft Teams room effectively anywhere you would like in your building. Up in the ceiling, like I said, we've got a full ceiling audio system. And again, we're enhancing our experience by utilizing AI with that de-reverberation technology. Now you get that clear tone from the human voice as opposed to the muddy reverb that can happen within our meeting room environments. This is our last stop on the Microsoft Teams Rooms tour, and it usually is our last stop on our normal tours here at Innovation House, because it is a great way to showcase in a nice, clean environment exactly what an end user can experience at site when Teams Rooms are done properly. If you're not local to Innovation House and you want to come and get your hands on, do not worry. Up in Scotland, we've got the AV Hub, and over in Ireland, in Bray, we've got the Square One Experience Centre. If you want to book in a tour, John's going to work his magic. There's going to be a QR code on the screen that will take you straight through to the Innovation House booking form. If you want to get some questions with some experts, ucc@midwich.com. Don't worry, no matter where you're located, the team will be willing to help you out. Later in the year, John and I will be heading off to the AV Hub and Square One so we can do a video like this, running you through their environment and giving you a deep dive into the vendors up there in those experience centres. As always, in the description below, there will be links so you can peruse over information in your own time. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell notification icon so you can stay up to date with all of the latest content here on Midwich TV. That's been our Innovation House Microsoft Teams Room tour. I'm Louis Robinson. You've been watching Midwich TV. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.